The Kenya Planters Cooperative Union was placed under receivership in 2009 following its failure to pay a 700 million shillings debt to Kenya Commercial Bank. While its operations were handed to Deloitte and Tosh, some assets owned by KPCU were almost auctioned to pay the debt. Farmers were apprehensive about giving their coffee to KPCU, afraid that their coffee would become a casualty in the rush by KPCU to pay its debtors. And so, the coffee market became a free-for-all and liberal in many aspects. The Coffee Board of Kenya, which was then responsible for the promotion of the coffee industry, including the marketing and processing of coffee, the licensing and control of producers and processors of coffee, as well as research connected with the industry, was sitting pretty as actors became more conniving and vicious in their dealings with the farmer. In 2013, the government brought back KPCU with a plan for its revival, with amendment of the Coffee Act 2013, trying to streamline operations in the management of coffee by placing the Coffee Board of Kenya under the Agriculture and Food Authority, AFA. President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2016 formed a task force that was supposed to come up with new coffee regulations and recommendations to make the coffee sector robust and ensure that farmers earn money from the sale of coffee, with the task force handing its report to President Kenyatta in mid-2017.
We were very optimistic when he heard that the president have formed a task force and that he has now listened to the plight of farmers. We waited. But to our surprise, the task force did not come up with any solution to coffee farmers.
Among the proposals were to include KPCU at the coffee auction stage. The task force also recommended that coffee farmers should be paid at least 40% of the prevailing price on the spot for the sherry they deliver. But the resolutions appear to have encountered turbulence in August last year, with High Court Judge George Odunga stopping the implementation of the recommendations of the coffee task force. Justice George Odunga ruled that the report's recommendations were unlawful, arguing that the task force failed to conduct proper public participation and involve county governments in a case filed by the new National Farmers Association. KPCU Chairman William Gatei believes that the cartels in the sector were behind the move.
As a coffee farmer, I was required by this new act to be able to sell my coffee to the person who is most competitive in terms of price. But this law has been frustrated. Busy bodies have gone to court, associations we have never heard of have gone to stop the implementation of the act, and these are the issues that have befallen us.
A meeting bringing together governors from coffee growing counties at the Ministry of Industrialization identified cartels, high cost of production and labor as the major challenges facing the industry. But are the cartels untouchable?
After reviving KPCU from receivership in 2013 December, up to today, we're yet to be able to get into the auction. We have gotten licenses. We have even gone to a court of law that has said that we should be given a license. But up to today, we don't have a license. Why would you think that is? We have the license but cannot get into the auction. Why would you think that is? That's why I say cartels, they are faceless, they are formless, but somehow they have some ability.
The approaches to the problem of coffee after the Naivasha meeting were similar, only that the script writers are different this time round. Undertaking legal reforms without addressing the problem of cartels and how they would be exterminated.
We have agreed that we need to revive the coffee sector, and that is an agreed position from all of us. We are now going into the technical issues of what to do in terms of legal reforms, what interventions the national government will undertake, what the county governments will contribute, so that we can be able to get the sector back to its feet.
We are now getting all the stakeholders on board to understand these challenges, to have a common view and approach in how to deal with resolving some of these issues.
The failure to pay farmers has had a ripple effect in the marketability of Kenyan coffee, as farmers continue to keep off from investing in coffee production.
We must reinvest. The problem is that there has been no investment in coffee for many years. So we have been picking coffee and not investing in it. A coffee plant is capable of giving you 32.5 kilos. Today, as a national average, we are picking 2.5 kilos. This should put it in context for you.
KPCU says it intends to partner with China for value addition to coffee in a plan that will see farmers paid handsomely.
So we want to lease the farms, take the farms under professional management, and pay the farmer. So the farmer has already done his job. He has already bought his farm. He's already planted his coffee. That's enough. He needs to hand over that to us. And if he enters that farm, he will enter under labor.
The coffee industry is robust, and Europe being a big market for Kenya, there's no doubt that the industry in a cadre of multi-billion shillings dealings, but one that leaves farmers with a very bitter taste in their mouths. The plight of coffee farmers in the country is one that would be described as horrible and heartbreaking. Hours, days, months and years of toiling with zero return. The farmers' plea to the government, and particularly President Uhuru Kenyatta, is that he dismantles the cartels that have taken the industry hostage beyond just forming a task force and ensure that farmers in the country reap where they have sowed. Reporting for Channel 1 News, my name is Jacob Kioria.